8 months after an officer's motorcycle went into the crowd at the Palm Springs Festival of Lights parade, injuring several people, the police department just announced it is now implementing a number of safety reforms. And we're also learning more about why the crash happened. Here's my in-depth interview with Police Chief Andy Mills, who says some of the findings are disturbing.
All right, Chief Mills, tell us about these safety reforms in the wake of the parade crash.
Yeah, so it was a tragic event that we feel very bad about, but we did a thorough review and investigation, Peter. The CHP did an independent review on the criminal side. That's going to the DA's office. We did an internal affairs review to see if there were policy violations, and if so, what were those violations and what could be the potential discipline because of that. And then the third, which we're talking about today, is an administrative review. What we do in an administrative review is look at why did this happen and how can we prevent something like this in the future. So we had every senior manager in our department, as well as those directly involved in the incident, interviewed, giving us feedback. What can we do differently? And how did this take place? And we found a few things that were disturbing. And
what were some of the key things that you think are disturbing in that review?
Yeah, so I'll just, I have them right in front of me here. First of all is that we had mission creep. We initially started out with making sure that we were keeping the roads safe, keeping people out of the streets, because as you well know, people are running across in front of the floats and things like that, the motors officers to protect that. But then as they started making turns, it turned into more of a, hey, this is cool. People are applauding and yelling and cheering and so forth. And then it became more of a, okay, now we're going to entertain you. And that had happened over a series of years. I mean, I had senior city officials telling me, hey, this has been going on for a very long time. Well, it should not have gone on for a very long time. We should have stopped it. And if you were a captain or a lieutenant who wasn't there, you should have been there. If you were there, we all could have put a stop to it, including me.
You're referring to the bumping up of the motorcycle officers, correct?
Right. Yeah, I'm referring to the donuts as, tight, not donuts, but tight turns and then bumping up or popping small wheelies. And then one person took it too far, and it appears that he lost control of his bike, which wound up injuring people. And for that, we're terribly sorry.
And I know you're referring to Officer Kim Miranda. What can you tell us about things with him right now?
Well, he's still doing, as far as I know, he's still, getting surgeries and trying to get back to his own personal health. We really can't discuss any personnel matters, and I won't discuss any personnel matters. But we hope he, as well as all of the victims of the crash, recover fully and ultimately are back to 100% themselves.
What else can you tell us about the changes and solutions that the department has come up with?
Well, just a couple more, if I can, issues. One is the chain of command was too big for one supervisor, so we're putting an additional person in that unit out of the current budget. We're not hiring additional people. It's out of the current budget. And then as well as we're making policy to make sure that nobody, because if you go to all the parades, you'll see a lot of people violating state law, no helmets, accelerating rapidly, participants as well as officers, so that's going to stop. What we're doing with our solutions is improving the span of control. We're going to make sure that there's a captain in charge of every single major event so that they are there, they're responsible, they have the authority to shut things down and to make sure that people understand very clearly what they can and can't do. We're also changing the policies for the city events so that everybody must adhere to state law, and including helmets, not rapid acceleration. We've changed it so that our officers cannot exceed 15 miles per hour at any time during the parade, unless it's a bona fide Code 3 emergency where they're running lights and siren to help somebody out. And then we're also implementing a fatigue management protocol. Some of our officers, especially our motor officers, work multiple days, very long days, and we want to make sure that they're healthy physically, emotionally, when they're doing these events, because when you are tired, I should say, it's much easier to make a catastrophic decision that we would regret later. And then we also want to make sure that we have enough people in place to plan for these events. Clearly, that's why we're going to add the extra additional supervisor to our traffic division, which handles all the special events. I mean, the city parties like a rock star. I mean, we have more stuff than you can possibly imagine, and all of that takes a great deal of planning in addition to running our traffic division, which is very important because we have a lot of very serious collisions here in the city. So we're going to add an extra body there. And I think that having done these things and a few others, we'll be able to make sure that something like this never happens again.
I'm curious, what is the feedback that you've been getting from officers about these changes?
Well, none of them want to be in a position where they're injured or getting sued. So they're positive with these changes. They're happy to get back on their bikes and to go out there and make the city safer by doing some traffic enforcement. So they're ready, but I think we've all learned a lesson about risk management and to make sure that we don't do things that are likely to get people injured.
You're referring to the motorcycle unit now has been cleared to resume, correct?
They've been cleared to resume their duties of traffic enforcement, so buyer beware. If you're out there and you're speeding in our city or running red lights or cutting people off, there might be a motor behind you and they will write you a ticket.
Anything else, Chief Mills, you would like to say about all this before we let you go?
No, again, we feel badly about it, but at the same time, we need to move forward and figure out the best way to make this community safe.
All right, Chief Mills, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us.
You bet. Thanks, Peter.